if it is, it's barely paid for. And virtually, it's spent so much time in the shop with my guys. I don't know how anybody would afford to drive it. So the OEMs really need to sell the government. And I think that this Lee Zeldin, he seems a lot smarter than the average cat. And I think he understands that like we shouldn't be worried about whatever kind of magic hocus pocus goes on under the hood. We should only worry about what's going into the atmosphere. So depending, and I think that's been a big problem is like the government has had this idea that they needed to be in control of what was going on under the hood. And I don't necessarily know, like they shouldn't be concerned about that. They should be concerned about what's going in the atmosphere, not under the hood. And if they can back off of that and let the OEMs and the engineers design systems that don't have DPF, like let's say they can get away with it with a CAT and EGR, but they don't, the DPF system is not reliable, and having urea is not reliable. The stuff freezes and it screws up the pump, and then everybody ends up in a cold snap on back order for pumps. So then these trucks are all sitting around and they can't run because they don't have a DEF pump. So there's just way too many things about the emission system that have made the trucks way too unreliable. But the good part about that was it forced all of the OEMs to make their engine program so much better that if they ever do get allowed to go to say a Mexico certified, emissions package where it's got if it's got like say EGR and it's got like a CAT, then that would be a very today, that would be an extremely reliable setup. So it seems to me like a lot of America's issues with trucks, if you got a guy X15, so this X15 owner, he's responsible for hauling all of your freight that comes from China, it comes from Michigan, it comes from Arizona, it's bread, it's potatoes, it's the rubber dog poop that you get at the store for practical jokes. It's every single thing that we consume, right? It's tires. Like if it snows and you don't have snow tires at your tire shop, like everybody's going, man, what's up? Well, the X15 engine that was supposed to haul those tires to this tire shop is currently sitting at the shop worried about emissions gear getting fixed. We learned a lot about X15 injectors here recently, and that's been great because Ford, Chevy, Dodge, you buy any one of them, go do the test drive, and you expect it to be as quiet as a Cadillac and as smooth as one too. To where like the X15 owner, they got this 15-liter engine and they start